Hello everyone and welcome back. Let's continue our discussion of the built-in list methods. The next method we'll look at is the pop method. The pop method removes the last element in our list. Let's look at an example. Let's say we have a list containing the elements 1, 5, 6, and 9. Now, if we call the pop method on our list X, that will remove the element 9 from our list. So the last element or item in the list. So x.pop is 9. If we call X, we have 1, 4, and 6. If we call the pop method on it again, we get 1 and 4. So 6 will be removed. And if we call our list X, we get 1 and 4. So it removes the last element added or the last element in our list. We can also specify an index with the pop method to remove any element in our index, in our list. Let's say we have another list containing the elements 4, 5, 6, item, another item, item 1, let's say 9, item 3, then let's have a list containing the elements 1 to 3, and then 8. So if we call that's X. If we call the pop method on X, it will remove the last element, which is 8. So if we call X again, we see that 8 is removed. If let's say we want to remove 6 from our list, we can, using the pop method, we can also say x.pop and pass the index of the element we want to remove. In this case, 6 is at index 2, 0, 1, 2. So x.pop and then pass 2. So 6 is removed. If we call our object X, we see that 6 is removed. So this brings us to another method known as the remove method. So this method will remove the given element from our list. So it's similar to the pop method, but with the remove method, we have to specify the element we want to remove. Let's say in the above example, we want to remove 9. So we can simply say x.remove and then pass the element that we want to remove, which is 9. Now if we call X, we see that 9 is no longer in our list. And if we want to remove, let's say, this item, we can simply say x.remove and then pass our element, which is item. Now if we call X, we see that item is no longer there. So that's the difference between remove and pop. Remove and pop. Next, let's look at the sort method. So the sort method will sort the elements of our list, either alphabetically or numerically. So it sorts it. Let's look at an example. Let's say we have a list Y containing the elements 2, 6, 3, 6, 2, 1, 9, 8, 4, 3, 4, and 12. So if we call the sort method on our list Y, we see that the elements in our list Y will be sorted in an ascending fashion, from the smallest to the largest. So if we call Y, we see that it's sorted 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 12. Similarly, we can call the sort method on lists containing strings. Let's say we have another list called A containing the elements, let's say item, C, W, I, K, and V. Let's call the sort method on it. Now if you call our list A, so we get the items C, I, K, V, W. So it's sorted alphabetically. This takes us to another method known as the reverse method. This method simply reverses the order of elements in a given list. So here, if we call list A again, that's the order: C, I, item, K, V, and W. If we call the reverse method, it will reverse the order of these elements. So basically we'll see W first, followed by V, K, and so on. Let's run it. And if we call A again, we see that the order is in reverse or reversed. Let's create another list X containing the elements 4, 5, 7, 2, 1, 8. So if we call the reverse method x.reverse, we'll see that the order of the elements is reversed. So now we have 8, 1, 2, and so on. So 8, 1, 2, the reverse order. Great. Next, let's look at the insert method. Insert method inserts an element or object at a specified index. So this is similar to the append and extend method in a sense that it adds elements or an object to our list. Let's look at an example. So if we call our list X, we have the elements 8, 1, 2, 7, 5, 4. Let's say we want to add an element at index 2. So here we have 2 at index 2, right? This is index 0, index 1, index 2. So let's say we want to add another element at index 2. For that, we'll use the insert method. So we can simply say x.insert, and then we specify the index. So I want to add an element at index 2, and then whatever element we want to add. Let's say this will be added at index 2. So if we run this and then call X, we see that my new element, this long string, is added at index 2. Let's say I want to add another element at index 5. So I can simply say x.insert at index 5. You can simply say insert at index 5 or whatever. So if we call X again, we see that this element is added at index 5. Let's count: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Similarly, you can say x.insert at index 0. Let's add what? 4, for example. Run it. If you call X again, we see that 4 is added at index 0. Finally, I want to quickly mention about a method called compare. This method will compare elements in two lists and then gives you a result of either -1, 1, or 0. Let me quickly show you this example, this method. So let's say compare list containing the elements 1, 2 with another list containing the elements 2 and 3. In this case, the second list is what it does is it compares each individual element in each of the lists. So in this case, we'll get a result of -1. That's because this first list is less than the second list. That's what this -1 means. And if they are equal, let's say 1 here and 2, we get a result of +1. This means the first list is greater than the second list. Whereas, let me change this to 1. In this case, we'll get a result of 1. That just means that the first list we are comparing is greater than the second list. And if the elements are not of the same type, we get numbers are usually smaller. So if I am comparing a list containing the elements 1, 2 to a list containing, let's say, A and B, we get -1. Usually numbers are smaller compared to other data types. And if we are comparing alphabets, let's say list containing some alphabets, let's say A and C, and another alphabet containing another list containing the alphabets A and let's say bat, we'll get +1. That just means the first list is greater than the second list. So here A and A are equal. So here C is greater than B. So I just wanted to quickly show you this compare method. So to summarize, we looked at the remaining built-in list methods and saw an example for each. Thank you everyone, and see you at the next lecture.